LPT. Take your student ID card with you everywhere you go. Even if you aren't a student anymore, many places have good student discounts, and the employees usually don't care to ask if you're a current student at a university. Set your student email to forward to a different email, so even if they lock you out after you're no longer enrolled, you can get verification emails and use it for discounts online. My university gives out our emails indefinitely, so I don't need to worry about this. Same. One reasoning I heard for it is that it's easier for them to contact you after you graduate and ask for more money. Pissed me off that I lost my edu email address. The 100k I gave you not enough. Would you go to school and for what? Your last term at university, make sure let whatever office know your card was lost/stolen and get a new student ID card to help you use it for years after you're done school. My unis have always had the expiry date of my course/degree on my ID card, and even getting a new one had the same expiry kept on it. Scratch it out or put a sticker over it. That's what my first uni did themselves. Didn't even issue a new ID card, just slapped a sticker over the old date with each new year. WTH. I attended a quite known school for 2 weeks and have been milking that ID card for years. No date or sticker. God bless. I work at a movie theater. Literally just ask for the college discount and they'll give it to you. I don't get paid enough to care. Wow. Every time I've been, they've always asked for it. Our official policy is that if you happen to have forgotten to bring your college ID, we can just ask what school you go to and go by the honor system. So you can probably just say you don't have it on you if you run into a strict employee. Granted, other theaters might have different rules than mine. Works pretty well for me, but I live in a college town. 75% of their tickets are to students. If I say I'm a student, it doesn't stand out. That being said, they clearly build that student discount into the regular price, so it's not really much of a discount compared to neighboring towns. This is not unethical. 50k in debt better get me $1 off at the movies for life at least. Those are rookie numbers. Yeah, just walk in the movies as people use the exit. Can confirm. Lots of museums abroad will let you in free or give you a heavenly discounted entry tickets. I used my old university all over Beijing. This has never been the case for me. In the EU you needed a European university ID, and in China they required a Chinese student ID. Edit. Experiences may vary. When I was in China, I was able to use my university identification card without issue. And it said faulty on it. In Poland, I did have trouble using my identification card. The building department didn't expect such a young professor. I'm not a professor. I'm literally here just doing research. For me it was in France and Germany the US university it was a no-go. In China my sister wasn't able to use hers, though sometimes they wouldn't even bother checking. I had a Chinese ID, so I was okay for the most part. But in Harbin some venues actually required the Chinese ID and your passport. I remember the police demanding my passport every single time I tried to enter the university department wing. I would give my Canadian passport, Chinese employment/research visa. It was conventionally stamped on the back, but I was also given a loose piece of paper as well. My faulty identification card, my Chinese research institution identification card, my Chinese liability insurance, my Chinese apartment documents, my Chinese medical insurance, my US medical insurance, and my CA medical insurance. I think some other documents were in there too. I used to have a gallon-sized clear Ziploc bag and would just give it to the police. The police checking identification cards wasn't exclusive to me, but every single person in my department had to provide it. Kind of sad as it was typically the same police every time and they were super strict about ensuring all documents were valid. Also 1. Just before you finish your school ask for a new ID. Say you lost the other one. Most times the expiry date of the ID will be tied to the print date, and you'll get a new ID that will last a few more years. I left KPU last year and mine expires in 2022. 2. After your id expires, go back and ask for alumni card. It looks identical, but it says alumni instead of student, and even if they do notice it, half the time they don't know what an alumni is anyway. KPU as in Quantlan. If so, hi fellow Surrey resident. EIII. Hello. I'm from Langley. Absolutely true. Scored $250 headphones for free at the Brooklyn Apple store with a high school id from 1992. How did you manage that with a student id? I like Apple does a promo where you can get Beats with your MacBook if you're a student. So by free you basically just have to spend a couple $1,000s. I work in retail and we have a student discount, and I definitely don't look to see if it's still valid. Unless the person is dumb enough to say something along the lines of, oh I'm out of school, this is really old, but I have one, then I don't care. I graduated college in 2004, but carried mine around forever just for the discounts. Got pickpocketed in New Orleans back in 2011, which resulted in losing my college id, and is what bothers me the most to this day. You can always take a community college class for 1 credit in something you find interesting like yoga, painting or karate. Then get an id. Yoga, painting or yoga painting, because honestly yoga painting sounds kinda rat, but also kinda painful. I mean whatever floats your boat. Okay, but what if I had platinum blonde hair and was 50 pounds thinner back then? Just always wear a hat and joke about the freshman 15. Waitress, hey y'all, any questions? Me, yes. Which is better, your student discount or your senior discount? We see you Pierce Hawthorne. I still use smiled military id for this. A VFW or VAC card also works. Yeah, it sure looks like I'm 40 years old, but I've been held back 2, 3, 20 years. Edit okay, I get it. It seems as though that it isn't too out of the ordinary to see older folks in colleges. I didn't know that, so thanks for letting me know. There are 40 plus students in grad schools. There are 40 plus students in undergrad. Yeah, but wouldn't you agree that when confronted, identifying as a grad student for a 40 plus year old makes more sense? I mean, it's certainly more common, but neither is more common than being 40. The point is that in college it's definitely not unheard of to have students 40 plus, in either undergrad or grad school. If you say you're an undergrad and the picture looks recent enough, I don't think anyone would reasonably doubt you. Don't some places check the date of the student id, like the semester year, maybe 2019, 2020? I'm just asking, because I'd hate to walk into Chick-fil-A with a 2015 to 2016 high school id as a 2509-year-old man. If you're living for 500 years and still look young, you're fine. No, has been living for 509 years, can't you read? In the 1980s, I knew someone who could make fake ids. He made fake student ids much more than driver's licenses, just because so many places around here take the discounts. Make up a school, bundle an enrollment with every id purchase, and it might not even be fraudulent. Mine didn't have an expiration. I used it for years before I lost that wallet. Just throwing this out there, but Microsoft Office is free for students, older version, and you can buy the newest version for like $35 I think. Not to flex, but my college gave us Office 2019 and 5 TB of on a drive with the tuition. They better do, because I paid too much for it. Hey, that's a solid flex, man. A few years ago I took a trip to Germany with a group from the US. For a couple of weeks. One of the days we took a day trip to Austria by train, and our group leader told us that morning that we didn't need to bring our passports with us since we were traveling within the EU. Had no problems getting to Austria. But on the way back there were guards at the train station asking for passports for entrance back into Germany. None of us brought our passports with us, so we thought we were going to be stranded in Austria. All of us miraculously had our student ids on us, and our group leader persuaded the guards to let us onto the train just by showing our student ids. I can attest to the power of those little cards. I got $50 off my MacBook Pro by clicking on education pricing at the bottom of the website. You can also get $100 off the older MacBook Air by doing the same. They didn't even ask if I was a student, but I brought mine just in case. Dude I know enrolled long enough to get an ID. Then dropped out before he had to pay. The downside was that it doesn't work at the university as they scan the IDs and online they often verify in various ways. So it works. Kinda. I did this for nearly 6 years. Still try it every once in a while. Most of the time the cashier doesn't care anyway. Feel like whatever. Don't even need the actual ID. Just say you have student ID. Act like you didn't have it on you. And ask if a picture on my phone is good enough. I went to law school 1 year. Flunked out. Still have the student ID. That is more valuable than the history degree I got. LPT. Enroll yourself in a university your entire life to get student discounts. It actually makes sense if the uni is free. I know people like that lol. Recently my cousin got locked out of his apartment when I was visiting, and the locksmith honored my student ID for a discount. Saved him over $100. Even if you look old, just tell them you are a graduate student. As far as I'm concerned I paid $50,000 for my student card and I'll be damned if I can't use it for the rest of my cold dark days. I was an adjunct professor 10 years ago. I still use my photo ID to get discounts. Yep, my university ID card has employee on the bottom instead of student, but no ever checks. Shout out to my school for deleting our emails 6 months after graduating. 4 years and $20k plus in debt, and I lose access to Adobe, the source of most of my income. Just this year I closed my student checking account at PNC Bank, and I started it in 2003 or 04. Hey, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.